Everybody. So today is the fourth day of the month. Let's get into the fourth chapter of Proverbs, okay? So, some of the most well known quoted scriptures from the fourth chapter of Proverbs is chapter 4 and 7, which is wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. And that's one of the ones I always say, with all your getting, get understanding. If it ain't no understanding in what you learning, then where is the wisdom? Okay. So another one is chapter 4:23. Keep thine heart with all diligence, for out of it is the issues of life. Okay. And another chapter, which is my favorite, okay, because I always think you should find a chapter that represents your birthday. So whatever your birthday month is, and whatever your birthday day is, okay. So for me, it's the 4 and 18. All right. But the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more until the perfect day. So I'm gonna break this down because this is my favorite. This is my personal one, right? So this verse provides encouragement and hope, often used to affirm spiritual growth, righteous living, and a bright future for those who walk in God's way. All right. So I'm trying to I'm walking in his way, okay? Because some people be walking, I don't know which way they walking, but I'm walking in his way. So I want to encourage you all with all of these chapters, okay? It's 30 chapters. I'm quite sure you can find your birthday. So find your birthday, whatever your month is, use that as your chapter, and whatever that day is, use that day, and find one that really resonates for you. It doesn't have to be Proverbs. I think it should start with Proverbs because that's your wisdom chapter. Well, throughout all your favorite, chapters or favorite books of the Bible, find a book and then find that month, and find that chapter and that verse that works for you, and be like, that's mine. That's mine right there. That's mine. All right. So Proverbs 4 is the heartfelt exhortation to his children to prize wisdom above all else and live uprightly. Okay, so the chapter unfolds with let's see, three calls of action. Okay, so the first is a call to hear and honor parental instructions. Okay, so Solomon urges his children to listen closely to the teachings he received from his father. That was his father David. So he wants his children to listen closely like he listened. Okay, he emphasized that wisdom is supreme, more precious than jewels, brings long life, riches, and honor, and pleasant peace. Okay, because above all else, honey, how can you have money and you ain't got no peace? Now you already know a lot of people be out here unaliving themselves because they don't have peace, honey. I need peace. I cannot have all that money and no peace. What is that? Acquiring wisdom requires both receiving heart and eager effort. Okay, so the second one is the path of righteous versus the way of the wicked. The reward of following wisdom is laid out: life, safety, and guidance. Okay, with wisdom you have life, safety, and guidance. Okay, in contrast, the ways of the wicked is dark, twisting, and leads to ultimate ruin. The wicked people, your life is in ruin. All right, your life is going to be, you think it's good, all right, because all you see is the glitz and glamour. Keep on living, you're going to see ruin and twistedness. Okay, Solomon paints a vivid image of two different roads, two roads you can go through, right? One is well lit and straight, and the other, it has shadows in it, it's treacherous, and he invites his son to choose wisely. Okay, so a lot of times that wide road, everybody's skipping down it together. You can walk side by side with people, and everything is great, and it leads to ruin. But that narrow road where you got the TT, I don't want to touch nothing, it's all, but that's gonna be that righteous road. Okay, that's the road very few people walk. That's why it's not wide. That's why it's not, the path ain't clear. That's why you got to step over some stuff. You're going to trip, you're going to fall, you're going to get scrapes and bruises, but you are going to live a righteous life because you're going to learn. Okay, I walk down this path. So, you're going to tell people, okay, be careful as you come. Follow me. This is the way to go, right? The third one is guard your heart and speech. Okay, so this part focuses on what you've been taught. Okay, so focus on what you've been taught and do not drift from your eyes. Okay, keep your eyes straight. You learn how to keep your eyes straight, so keep your eyes straight. Don't be looking all over there, child, because it's gonna get you in trouble, right? Protect your heart, for it determines the course of your life. All right, guard your heart, because sometimes your heart is so vulnerable. It loves what it wants to love. You have to say, heart, we can't love them. We need to love them from afar. We need to put boundaries, honey, because they like to hurt us. We can't continue to be hanging out with them. All right. Speak thoughtfully. Let your words be wholesome and direct toward healing. Sometimes you got to say less. I had an interaction today. I needed a moment before I said something because I was already frustrated. I used my heart. My heart was hurt. My heart was a little, and I just had to say, listen, okay, put these lips together for a minute, and then say something. Because then you say it with peace and you say it with dignity, right? Okay, live with integrity. Avoid crookedness in what you do or say, and stay in a straight path that leads to life. Okay, I'm trying to follow the path of life, and I want to give that to other people. All right. So some takeaways, y'all. Wisdom is active pursuit. Pursue wisdom. All right. Your choices define your journey. Okay, what you do, okay, gonna show other people who you are. Okay, the heart is a wellspring of life. All right, we see whatever you pursue, whatever your passion goes to, they're gonna know that that's who you are based on your passion, right? Okay, so some of the things I really want you to take away from this is the affirmation. I got your affirmation, a few of them, right? I walk in wisdom and it guards my steps. God's truth lights my path, and I turn away from all that leads to wickedness. Okay, here's another one. I seek understanding daily with God's help. I grow stronger and brighter with each step I take. That's a good one, right? I'm gonna give you another one. My my words are filled with purpose. My eyes are fixed on what is right, and my feet follow the path to peace. Okay, let's come on, y'all. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. You walking on peace? All right, y'all. Let's get this day going. This is your fourth nugget for the month of, what month you in? Okay. Whatever the month you in, this is the fourth day of Proverbs. Thank you for watching. Everybody, everybody.